Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I made these cornhole boards. So I have all the 2x4s cut down now, dimensional 2x4s. I have the four sides, the fronts and the backs, and these long ones here are actually going to be the legs, but I'm going to cheat and run them through the joiner, plane them down, trim them up on the table saw, square them up, try to make them look better than when you buy them at the big box store. So let's get to it. Okay, so now that I have the 2x4s jointed, planed down, run through the table saw, you do not have to do that. If you just want to buy the lumber itself and leave it with the rounded edges, you can. You're just going to put a lid on it, cut a hole, have the back 12 inches off the ground, and I'm sure I'll repeat that a couple times. But cornhole boards are basic, and I just do this because I can, I guess. But now that that's done, I got a little bit more sanding to do, and I'm gonna cut the plywood down to its final width of 24 inches by 48. That's basically all you have to run on, is make sure it's 24 inches wide, 48 inches long. The hole is 9 inches down, 12 inches in, 6-inch hole, buy some bags of corn and throw it at it. So let's get these up and finished. I'm going to actually use the Craig jig on these just because I don't like putting holes on the outside. And we're going to glue it up and keep rolling from there. All right, I went ahead and cut the plywood down to a 48 by 24. Sorry for the traffic noise. It seems to be a busy day, and it's a nice day, so I had the garage door open. But I went ahead and cut these down. I'm using 3/4 inch plywood this time. Usually I use 1/2 inch, but since it's for us, and I wanted to go with 3/4 inch this time. So the measurements will be a little different than I'm used to, but I just cut them with the circular saw. My table saw is not quite big enough to run 24 inches. It's only 22 inches, which kind of stinks, but eventually I will upgrade to that. But I just put a straight edge on it, cut it right down the middle, and since the plywood was a little bit over 48 inches, I was able to get 2 24s exactly. So right now I'm going to go to the Craig jig, and I'm going to start drilling holes in our frames to get those together, and we can get our lids on here and get the hole drilled. So I made a boo-boo when I was so excited to put pocket holes in these because I was moving right along. I never cut them to size. I usually make them a little bit oversized, so when I actually plane these down and get them to a desired thickness that they look clean, I put these in later and measure them, and I did not do that. So what I'm going to do is still have the stock for the legs that I have cut. I get 4 legs out of these. I can actually make new end caps, I guess you can call them, out of this. There's enough room, and I'm going to turn these into the legs. So I didn't have to break into another 2x4 because we all know that lumber prices are going out the roof and it's getting expensive. But so I can still work with what I've got. But I just wanted to show you that everybody makes mistakes. I made a mistake. I got in a hurry, and that's what happens. But I'm going to fix it. So I have corrected my mistake, and I went ahead and cut the fronts and backs for the frame out of the leg stock that I had. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put glue on each one of these ends, but since it's end grain, I'm actually going to put the glue on. Loud traffic. I apologize for that. But I'm going to put the glue on. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let it soak into the pores and everything like that. And once that's settled in, I'm going to put another layer, and then I'm going to attach it. And so it's going to take a little while to glue this, but I want it to hold, so. Now I'm getting ready to drill the hole. I actually have a 6-inch hole saw here. What I need to do is I need to measure down 9 inches and in 12 inches from each side. And if they're off a little bit, you could just use the middle of the two lines, because sometimes it might be 11 and 15/16 both ways, and you just put it right in the middle. So 9 inches down, 12 inches in, and we're going to get to drilling this hole. So here I went ahead and drilled the holes for where the carriage bolts are going to go for the legs. I went 3.5 inches down and halfway in between the 2x4 here for the holes. And now I'm going to drill holes for the legs, and we'll get them fitted up. Hey, you're near the end of the video. With these boards, one crucial thing for dimension-wise, all you really need to know is from the back of the board to the ground is going to be 12 inches high. That's the rule of thumb for these. Your hole will be 9 inches down from the back, 12 inches in, or whatever center from the sides in. 9 inches down, 12 inches in. The bolts for the legs, or the lag bolts, I just went from the back in 3.5 inches, and I just found the center of the 2x4. Whether you leave it a 2x4, you cut it down a little bit to square it up, just find the center of the 2x4, and that's how far down or up you will be with the 3.5 inches in from the back. On your legs, kind of do the same thing. Measure down from the top of the leg and in halfway, but I measure down for what the halfway point is on the 2x4 on the side. So say it'd be 1.5 inches down, or 1 5/8 inches down. That's what I do to the leg itself from the top, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. And then you drill the holes, put your legs on. I dangle the legs, make them a little longer, dangle the legs over the back side of the table, as you saw, and I use a straight edge and I mark them. That way I know when they're sitting here that I'm going to get the right angle on the legs so they lay flat on the ground. And as you can see, no wobble. And my workbench is pretty much flat. It's close enough, but I have no wobble. So, and it's a 6-inch hole, by the way. So when you do your 9 inches down, halfway in from the sides, 6-inch hole for the little bags to fall into. These are not competition ACL cornhole boards. These are backyard, have fun. I didn't do anything special with them. I'm not a professional, but they're going to do for us. And if you stick around to the end of the video, which it's almost over, I'm going to put a vinyl wrap on these for you, show you how I do it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.